YouTube, it's your girl Honey. Today's topic is going to be Chiron in the 12th house. It's completely done now. I am so happy that it's over. However, I'm quite sad because I really did enjoy this series. I hope you guys have enjoyed it, but the 12th house, I had to save it for last. It is so important to me, this house. I'm a 12th house Sun, Mercury, Pallas, so everything in this house is, you know, partially some of it does, you know, resemble myself, but 12th house is one of the most misunderstood houses of the zodiac. Okay, I also have my moon in the 8th house, and then I've got a moon stellium, a Capricorn stellium in the 8th. So the 8th house and the 12th house is very important to me, and they square each other, but I will talk a little bit about how that affects me further on in the video. But yes, my Chiron's not in this house, but you know, being a 12th house person, because 12th house people, you know, we kind of get each other a little bit more than other people who don't have 12th house planets, purely because there is something like unspoken about 12th house people, and people who have their Chiron in the 12th house, even if there's no planets in there apart from Chiron, this can definitely heighten your 12th house experience. Alright, so this is the last of my Chiron series, but I'm so happy I completed it. I don't ever complete anything in my life, but I've completed a few series on YouTube, so I'm happy about this. Right, so Chiron in the 12th house. What is Chiron? Chiron is an asteroid. It's known as your wounded healer. Everyone has a Chiron placement and no one likes it. Alright, it's our wounded healer. Childhood traumas which would mold us into who we are as adults today. Okay, we can also use this as use our pain to heal ourselves and to heal others. We basically need to grow up in our lives and learn how to work with our Chiron instead of working against it. We work with it. Okay, so what's your 12th house? 12th house is ruled by Pisces, home to Neptune. It is our dreams, it's our mind, our unconscious, our subconscious, it's our illusions, everything going on in the brain, right, is going to be in that 12th house, right? We should never fuck with the 12th house or discredit it. It's a major house. Okay, so what kind of person would you be if you have your Chiron in the 12th house? So with other Chiron placements, they don't really go back into like how you were in the womb as an embryo, but you do in the 12th house, because the 12th house is about other realms. If you have a 12th house, if you have any planets in the 12th house, there's a possibility that you are trapped between your past life and your present life. There's going to be some type of like stuck in between kind of vibe. So Chiron in the 12th house person, there would have been an incident that happened to you as a baby before your birth, meaning your mum could have been in labour for like 24 hours for time. She could have been in labour for a long ass time. There could have been some type of complications to you coming out. I strongly believe that when you have your degrees, within 4 degrees, or even just a few, whatever, from your ascendant, right, which could even be in Aries, but anyway, a few degrees from your ascendant, right, you could possibly have experienced some type of sharp injury or pain as a baby. Like, you know, when they push the belly down to turn you around, shit like that. With first house Chiron people, they do tend to get some type of head scarring on birth, during birth. And if you're a 12th house person and you may have your fire sign in the 12th house, you may have experienced some type of juk into the head, or if it's Aries, some type of head situation or stabbing. If it's in like if your Chiron's in air and it's in the 12th house, it will have some type of like strangling, suffocation. So that would be the umbilical cord, right? Because it's to do with air, element air. Can't breathe, right? So there would have been that type of situation. and growing up as a child, so you may have experienced horrific dreams, especially if your Chiron is in a water sign, particularly Scorpio, because Scorpio squares the 12th house. So as a child, you would have experienced some type of like constant dreaming, you know, and you're not really sure, like, why do I keep believing these bad things? What's going on? And what I've heard is how to, if you're a parent and your child has this placement, what I've heard is to kind of coach your child, give your child something physical, like a toy, a teddy bear or something, protect you. You know, if you get these dreams, call out for your teddy bear, you know, call out for your toy or whatever as it's happening. It's like I mentioned with the 8th house, Chiron in the 8th, you would have experienced sleep paralysis, if I'm saying it right. But yeah, there's experiencing things like that. As a child, you might possibly have been very sensitive to paranormal activities around you as well. And this can definitely make you afraid, because Chiron is here to make you afraid of these things as a child. Like it gives you like a traumatic kind of vibe. You know, I'm scared to mess with, you know, paranormal activities. It's scary for me. I don't know what to do. So 12th house Chiron, and it's crazy because 12th house Chiron can even 12th house can be your sun. Like my sun and my Mercury, my Pallas are all in the 12th house. So, you know, when your Chiron's there, even your sun, it will contribute to an absent father. And it's mad because I grew up always thinking that my dad was around. Not even thinking, but I honestly felt he was. But discovering astrology, I'm starting to understand that my dad was not actually as active as he should have been. But Chiron in the 12th house would represent your dad probably would have been someone who might have been in jail, been incarcerated in a mental institution, things like that. He wouldn't have been the most active person in your life. As your 12th house is in opposition to your 6th house, and it's so crazy because I dated a guy who was a Virgo sun. Virgo rules the 6th house, and his moon was in Pisces. Pisces rules the 12th house. And, you know, it's crazy because I don't even mean to say it's crazy, but when I refer back to astrology and comparing him to the 12th house and the 6th house and stuff, I dated him before I was that much involved in astrology. And when I dated him, he carried a lot of anxiety, issues with his day-to-day activities, you know, anxiety, he had depression, and he was also tested for schizophrenia. And these are all things you need to look at when you're looking at someone's charts, especially I actually think he has Chiron in his 12th house as well, because his dad was not around, but also he had issues with the worrying, the anxiety, just the constant fear that I'm going to die. I'm dying, honey, save me, I'm dying. And I'm looking at him, there's nothing wrong with you, you're healthy, you know. And it was the fear of death, the fear of being attacked by spirits. There's that fear. There's the fear of feeling like you've done something wrong and you really haven't. You know, like, these people worry so much, because we got to remember the 12th house is opposite the 6th house. 6th house is Virgo, ruled by Virgo. Your day-to-day activities, your routines, your health. And Virgo is a sign that worries so much about everything. Whereas Pisces in the 12th house doesn't worry about things so much. But when your Chiron is there, with Chiron in your 12th house, is going to bring some 6th house energy into your 12th. You're going to have issues with anxiety. You're going to have issues with, I'm not going to die, I'm not going to... Like, my ex actually used to say to me, I think I have cancer. And they get a lot of people that don't understand them. And it's crazy because I don't know what his rising was, so I have no idea where his sun and his moon was. but the fact that he was 12th and 6th house, he was a 12th and 6th house person anyway, because of his sun and his moon, he's going to be someone who's misunderstood. And I get that as well, because I'm a Mercury, Palace and Sun 6th house person, and I am never understood. Like, I think I have 2 people in my life who completely understand me, and that is my mum and one of my other friends. I think she's a 12th house person. And the thing is, I might say something, but someone will interrupt me or take it as I'm saying I mean something else, and it's like 12th house people are misunderstood. And yeah, so 12th house Chiron people just are very misunderstood. A lot of the time they will express, I'm so worried about, you know, this happening, or they take on a lot of faults that other people do on themselves. And this causes way too much anxiety, pressure, you know, just there's too much going on. And other people who are not 12th house people will look at them like, you need to go and see a counsellor, go and speak to someone. And they're like, okay, yeah, maybe I do, you know, maybe I do. But they should always speak to someone, because they need to get this out and they need to figure out, because what it is, this is how I view mental health, period. Okay, 12th house people are stuck in their physical body is in the world, their physical body is here, but their mental state is trapped in another realm, depending on how serious their mental state is. If it's really bad and they can't really work things out in the physical world, their mental state is somewhere else. Okay, but I look at it like, okay, Chiron 12th house people that haven't really got like severe mental issues, right, they will be stuck in another realm but also be stuck in this one. So they're back and forth, not sure what the fuck they're doing. And this is how I believe mental health is. Like, you've got schizophrenia, you've got bipolar, you know, all of these different things that make you unique. And I strongly believe a lot of it's also to do with your past life as well. The 12th house is also like your past life, right? And it's like where you came from. And you're still, the worrying that you get, I believe you get this worrying because you did something in your past life and you've got to bring it forward into this life to resolve it. But you're worrying and you're going back to that old life and you're not really sure where you're going. And this is how I believe Chiron in the 12th house kind of works, or 12th house placements, period. You're here because you didn't finish something in your past life and you got to complete it in this one. These people, Chiron in the 12th house people, always have this like feeling like, oh, I'm not gonna get this job, or oh, I'm gonna fail this exam, or I'm not gonna survive. And it's frustrating because these people, when they speak into existence, right? So for this particular person to say, rah, like, you know, I've gone for a job interview and I'm going in as entry level, but I'm interviewing with people who are professionals. They're already going in, I'm not going to get this job. It's just not for me. That's how they go in with things. They need confidence building, like, more than anybody else. Like, when you ask them, so how was the interview? They'll be like, I didn't get the job, man. I know I haven't got the job. However, when your Mercury is in Sag, or if you're a Sag, or you got lots of Sag energy, right? Sag people, the way they are, they'll make a joke out of it. And they'll be like, I'm not going to get that job, it was a shit interview anyway. They'll make a joke out of it. Because remember, with Sag people also, they do not take things to heart. Or they want to appear like, you know, it's not that serious to me. I want to make a joke out of it. But in the brain, up here, that's not how they feel. Because the 12th house is ruled by Pisces, there can be issues with drug addiction, alcohol addiction. They could possibly have addictive personalities, you know. And when your Chiron is there, a lot of the time they tend to, you know, want to go deeper within themselves. So how do you go deeper? Like, you explore with drugs, with smoking, and getting your mind to a different place. Feeling like, okay, I'm gonna take this drug because it gets me high, but it stabilizes my mind to thinking I'm in the physical world, or I'm in the other world, the other realm. Because remember what I said before, it's like you're in this one or you're in that one. You're not really sure what you're doing. And the thing is, I'm saying this, and people may not understand, but I'm a 12th house person too. Like, trust me, I get it. But this is how your subconscious is thinking. So you may not really be aware of it, of what I'm saying. So parts of your personality as well, like, you may feel like you're not really that visible to other people. You may feel like you want to express a bit more to others, but you can't because you're so misunderstood. So your best friend of 20 years may not really know the true inner you, because you keep that to yourself because of the fear of being so misunderstood. Now, let's think 12th house, you might be an empath, you might be into telepathy. And the funny thing is, my Mercury is in this house, so someone who has their Mercury would definitely be prone to hearing messages from spirits and stuff, especially in connection with your 8th house as well, 12th house through dreams as well. You know, wherever your Neptune is placed can also make a contribution to that. Uranus in the 12th house as well, you know, these all play factors into your spiritual development as well. And I don't feel like I have any psychic abilities or anything, but I 100% communicate like a 12th house person. Whereas every time I ask someone a question, my question always has the answer here. Like, there's always an ulterior motive, but I never appear like that person can read why I'm asking these questions. Like, when it comes to communicating or getting messages from spirits and stuff, I've heard someone I know has their Mercury in the 12th house as well, and she said to me she didn't have no telepathy coming through at all up until she went through her Saturn return. So your Saturn return, 12th house people as well, yeah, it's going to be very eventful for you. Some people are able to overturn their addiction because, you know, your Saturn return is always going to be something of growth, transformation, and learning learning from your past. The whole point of your Saturn return is supposed to be learning about things and using it to better and to strive for more. So, you know, by the time you reach 30, you should know, okay, I don't want to be that person anymore. I want to be, you know, the real me. But God, I've been talking for ages about this 12th house, but I can talk about it for time. 12th house is a big deal. So that is my video on Chiron in the 12th house, and I will see you guys on a different series. I'm doing a moon series now, I think, so I might start that, maybe Venus series. I'm not sure what series to upload, because I do have videos ready, but I'm just not sure which one to upload yet. I'm in between. But anyway, please like, subscribe, share, comment. Thank you for watching. Please pass around my video, share, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.